Hey there. Okay. So we are going to talk about sucking in our bellies, engaging our bellies, and then being active. Okay. So believe it or not, your core is normally going to be active just by itself, normally. Now, that's different than sucking in or engaging. Okay. So a lot of times I'm going to tell you to let your belly go because some of us automatically suck in. That's what we've done all of our lives. We suck in that belly, okay? So we have to learn to relax it. And the core is so complex. You could study and study and study it and learn and learn and learn so much about it. And there's just still so many questions. So sorry if you hear the TV in the background. But I have done some more studying, and so I just want to bring some of this new stuff that I have found out. So you don't necessarily want to walk around like your bicep is curled and engaged all the time, right? So there are times that it's going to be relaxed. Now, your core should be working anytime you're supported and when you're upright and you're not supported, okay? But it shouldn't be engaged. So what engaged is going to look like is when you're doing an exercise, okay? When you may be leaning over to pick up the kids, to twist and turn, do the dishes, clean house, like if you're picking stuff up. That core needs to engage. And how we do that, we lift that pelvic floor and engage the TVA, right? So active is a little different state. Okay, so what I want you to do is go ahead and relax your belly, okay? And then pretend like there's a cable on the top of your head and you lift it up, okay? Your abdominals, your core, should automatically just be active, okay? If it feels like you're engaging too much, that's not what you want to do, like if you're working out. Okay, you may feel just it being just a little bit active, holding you up, okay? It's a fine line between engaged and active and relaxed, and you kind of have to tell a little bit. I've gotten to the point now, like when I'm walking, I can tell that my core is active, and it's helping hold me up, okay? So I took some notes here just so I wouldn't forget and to keep me on track. I do that a lot because I can squirrel. So you need to know that most of us are going to have a natural pooch when we're relaxed. So I don't want you to freak out about that, okay? That's how our bodies pretty much are created. I'm going to talk a little bit about that in just in a little bit. So the core is not really designed to be sucked in or flexed because that's going to create that intra-abdominal pressure, and it can also create pelvic floor pain, okay? So like I said, there's a difference between your core being relaxed, like when you're laying down, and active when you're standing and walking and sitting, okay? Or engaged, like when you're for exercise, lifting, balance work, things like that. So again, let's talk about that one more time. Let your belly go. Kind of pretend to lift your head up with the cable. Don't rib flare to get it up. You just, like if you're sitting, you're just kind of coming up, okay? And my core just kind of activated a little bit. Okay. Now, if you have tight chest muscles, rounded shoulders, tight hamstrings, tight glutes, you may have a little bit of an issue with this. Okay. You may be trying to move in different areas. So those are some things you need to work on, especially with the stretching. Okay. That's in the program. All right. So, but that's not the same as being engaged. So it's just real life all day long, strength and connection that we're working towards, okay? Now, I get a lot of questions about my abs. You know, they're not completely flat. There's a point where you're relaxed, okay? It's going to look flatter than you're relaxed before, okay? You're going to get to that point, especially if your transverse abdominal was totally offline before, prior to rehabbing it or working on it. Constantly flat bellies we are going to see that on images in media and Instagram. So a little curvature, you need to understand, isn't bad. I mean, we were, our bellies were meant to protect our organs, the ovaries, all these things down here. If you look at women's pictures a long time ago, you're not going to see these ripped, hardcore abs. We need to get back to what women's bodies are supposed to look like, and that you love your body, that you accept your body. Now, here's the deal. I've been studying about this too. When you see a woman with six-pack, rock-hard abs, either it's their body type, like they're a mesomorph, or they may have their diet reeled in like amazingly, and they are doing a lot of stuff at the gym all the time. And you have to, and a lot of times that you do see that, most of the time, especially if they're not mesomorphs. Mesomorphs just automatically hold muscle like that. That's what they look like, okay? Their hormones may be off even, okay? It's just kind of crazy when you get in and study about women's bodies and what they're really supposed to look like. And media is going to tell us this is what you need to have and this is what it needs to look like, okay? So I want you to take a step back and relax and know that your body was created to protect your organs. So I'm not talking don't get the healing you need to do that, but I don't want you comparing yourself to somebody's abs that needs to look this flat, okay? And also, we've had babies, okay? And you've had diastasis. So I want you to just enjoy where you're at in this journey. I know I've talked about this before, okay? So where was I at? Okay, so our bellies are made to move, expand, contract, okay? Carry life, protect life, cradle life. There's nothing wrong with a relaxed, slightly rounded belly. But again, media and Instagram and all these pictures are going to make you think that there's something wrong with it, okay? So as you lose more of the extra fat around, things like that, and the loose skin gradually starts to do a little bit better, okay? Because when you strengthen those muscles, the loose skin can get better. It should get flatter, but flat shouldn't be your main goal, okay? It needs to be strength, and tight doesn't need to be your main goal, okay? You want to be able to relax your core. You want to learn how to relax it. Some women can't relax it, and you want to learn how to engage it. Relax it and engage it. You need to learn how to do that, okay? But remember, what did I put here? Engaged and active, they aren't the same thing, okay? When your core gets healthy, okay, you're going to find that it starts activating. Okay, listen to this. It's going to start activating on its own. Some women's cores are way offline, and they don't even activate. And some are engaged and sucking in so much, and the pelvic floor is so tight that they have a hard time relaxing it. You've got to find that middle ground of it being active to support you, okay? So you're going to have to know how to feel that. Are you gripping your abs? Is your pelvic floor tight when you're walking around, okay? That pelvic floor and everything should engage naturally, okay? So when you take a diaphragmatic breath, okay, and it pushes on your organs, it lengthens your pelvic floors. Guess what that's doing? It's telling your pelvic floor, hey, she's getting ready to move. So when you breathe out, that pelvic floor comes up, and it's going to automatically activate, not engage, but activate the core, the transverse abdominal, to protect you, okay? So we can engage it more by when we walk, when we work out, things like that, but I'm talking about just everyday activities. That is what your body should naturally do, and that's what you need to teach your body, okay? So an engagement is going to require effort. So if you're standing in good alignment, your pelvic floor should naturally engage and relax, okay? All right, so we just talked about that with the diaphragmatic breath. You don't want it flexed harder than it needs to be at any given task. So your focus needs to be on how you function and you feel, not on simply how your core looks, okay?
Yes.
You're going to get there, okay? But that's not what your focus needs to be on right now. So your transverse abdominal should naturally stay active and hold you in good alignment. And as you all know, if you've been doing good alignment yet, it makes your muscles sore. But eventually, your core muscles are going to be getting so strong, you know, that they're going to be able to do their job where it's not going to make you sore as often, okay? So, and we talked about, you know, you want to relax your core. Your core needs to work for you during your daily life moments, everyday activities. Let's see. What else did I put here? Okay, I did put the let it all hang out point of your belly is going to shrink too. And I said that before. So you're relaxed, it's going to get flatter as well, okay? So you need to strengthen these muscles. And it's going to take a while, okay? I know you know that, to get them strong, along with that linea alba tissue. And I've said this before, but sometimes that linea alba tissue can take a while to get strengthened and healed. It can take up to 9 months to 18 months, okay? So give yourself time, all right? And let's see. Try to integrate your transverse abdominal in everyday life, not just in my workout videos, okay? So leaning forward, rolling over, twisting, reaching behind you. Don't we reach behind us with our kids? So learn how to twist correctly, not rib flaring, engaging those abs, okay? So those are things. Walking and running, learning how to do that, lifting something. So these are all times that your TVA needs to be engaged. It takes a while to create a diastasis, okay? And it's going to take time to heal it. So I know that the boot camp is 8 weeks, but this is a great 8 weeks for you to focus and learn how to get in habits to do this in your everyday life. And I want you to give yourself time, okay? This is going to take time. But again, if you have any questions, let me know. All right, bye-bye.